Good evening, it's News360 coming to you live from the News Up here at Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Asiedu Date. Here are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Coming up tonight, Kusog Traditional Council bans all campaign activities of the new patriotic party following renewed shooting in Bawku.
Also tonight, power supply to improve in the coming days following agreements reached with some independent power producers.
And also coming up, parents growing anxious as this year's placement for senior high school delays, with first-year students expected to report Wednesday, October 30.
In business news, Media Coalition Against Galamsey warns ongoing illegal mining activities could lead to future restrictions on Ghana's cocoa exports.
And later in the bulletin, 40 Chadian soldiers killed after their base was attacked on Sunday. We have details of all these stories and more. Do be a part of the show. Let's hear what you make of the many stories we have for you tonight.
We first begin from the Upper East region, where the Kusor Traditional Council in the Upper East region has banned all campaign activities by the new patriotic party and directed its people to refrain from same. The council, at a press conference, accused government of reneging on its responsibilities, leading to an escalation of the conflict. The council also accused government of disrespecting the chiefs and people and breaching the law by allowing a rival chief into the area. Let's now speak to our Upper East regional correspondent, Castro Senyala. Castro, thank you so much for joining us. How is the security situation in Bawku?
Right, Aisha, Bawku cannot be described as hot as it was yesterday, and can be said to be as relatively peaceful as it was some few months ago. This is all thanks to the joint efforts of the military and the police, who have continuously mounted their operations within the municipality and across other sectors, all suburbs of the Kusok area. I can report that there's some amount of movement within the town earlier in the day and later this evening. But as we speak now, the town is completely empty as people have gone into their homes because they fear there may be some sort of gunshots and they don't want to be caught in them.
Castro, why has the Kusor Traditional Council banned campaign activities of the NPP in all 6 constituencies?
Aisha, even before the Kusor Traditional Council came out to ban the activities of the NPP, you would understand, or you might have heard that some parliamentary candidates of the NPP themselves, announced suspension of campaigns due to the volatile situation in the town. The Kusok Traditional Council says that the NPP government hasn't done so much as far as containing the issue of the conflict is concerned. They are also not happy that they have allowed, if I say the government has allowed a rival chief into the Bawku municipality, and for that matter, they say they are banning all activities and strongly directing their people, the Kusok people, to do same, and adding that they would continue to ensure that no other activity of the party is carried out in the area. I've been trying to speak to some NPP bigwigs within the region who have refused to comment on the issue, saying it's early days, but they are worried about the development and are hoping that in the coming days, tensions will go down and the Traditional Council will renege on its decision to allow for everyone to campaign peacefully. And then when we get into elections, there won't be any sort of disturbances.
Castro, there's Portia in the studio, but just before you go, we understand that the Regional Security Council also had a crunch meeting. Can you tell us about this?
Right, Portia, yes. I am getting information that, yes, there hasn't been any, RESEC meeting, but then steps are being taken to have that meeting because due to the escalating, tensions within the town, has become very necessary for the RESEC to sit together and deliberate on ways forward to, ensure peace. You would agree with me that 3 months ago, there was peace, and this is due to the efforts of the RESEC. And so they would want to sustain the engagements with the traditional authority and all other state actors and those involved in the peace-building process to ensure that peace is once more brought to Bawku, especially as we head into a very crucial election in December.
Castro, thank you so much for your time. And Castro Sanyala is our Upper East Regional Correspondent.
So Castro has painted a picture for us what's happening on the grounds in Bawku and how things are playing out, what the security is doing about it. Let's engage a security analyst on this to pick his thoughts on why, once again, Bawku is in the news, and again, for the wrong reasons. We've been joined by Dr. Victor Doko, a lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center. Thank you, Doc, for your time, and good evening to you.
Thank you very much, and good evening to you and Portia.
To start with, clearly it looks as though we are running around the same issue over and over again. There is an underlying political, chieftaincy concern here. And we've gone away, come back to it. There was relative peace. Now we are talking about this same concern again. What is it that we are not getting right in helping resolve this issue once and for all?
Right. Thank you very much. There's a lot that stakeholders are not getting right. And when I say stakeholders, I mean the state, central government, the security services. You can talk about the CSOs also, because they are in one way or the other related to this. Now, holistically, it is the responsibility of the state, the central government, to ensure that there is peace, whereby its citizens will be having a free movement, a free, human rights, attributes, association, movement, and all that, safety. But as it is now, the will of the central government is somewhat lacking with regards to commitment when it comes to sustained engagement to see that the underlying factors, yes, it's chieftaincy. There are approximate factors over the years that have contributed, to the triggers that we have seen or experienced when it comes to recurrence of violence, armed violence, and confrontations between the youths. Now, what actually the problem is, there hasn't been, when I say there hasn't been, I mean there hasn't been an effort made to resuscitate the Bawku Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee that was mandated to foresee that the factions come together and then iron out issues and then holistically declare the conflict over. That hasn't been done. Now, somewhere in 2000, there about 2002, we were looking at the issue of recommendations posed by a consortium of NGOs that happened in Kumasi. Now, to date, that recommendation hasn't been done. One of the recommendations was to have a permanent, office for the Bawku Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee to effectively, implement the recommendations, but it hasn't been done.
Right.
Now, what has caused this current disturbances is with regards to the February 15 incident at Narelegu, where one Sadi was, in his skin as a Bawku, right, and then subsequently his entry into Bawku. Now, this you would be rest assured that the Kusasi people in Bawku would not agree to. Now, a lot of questions have come up as to how Sadi has been able to enter Bawku and who aided Sadi, who are the stakeholders behind Sadi's entry into Bawku. There are lapses on the part of the security services. Why do I say so? You would expect that when the arrest warrant was issued on Sadi, there will be some sort of intelligence. What I mean is monitoring, so that the said gentleman does not enter Bawku. The security services cannot tell us, the intelligence bureaus cannot tell us that they did not analyze the situation, whereby knowing that when Sadi enters Bawku, there will be chaos. I think they knew, but they overlooked certain things. In that case, the aspect of Sadi entering Bawku means that there was an intelligence failure on the part of the intelligence bureaus and security services.
Right.
And how Seydu entered Bawku, and now we are all seeing the consequences.
Right, and still on that issue, I mean, it has led to the traditional authorities banning the New Patriotic Party from undertaking any political activity in the area. How would this help in the resolution of the current challenges?
Well, for one thing that I'm looking at it from the humanitarian angle is that, before I come to the political angle, is that one, the sort of this embargo placed on political activities affecting the NPP means that what is happening in the region, in that area, is that the NPP faction or members, okay, are the ones affected. By that I mean, they are the ones that could be at the end or receiving end of violence. So with this, I see it as a safety mechanism, a preventive mechanism, so that these NPP factions, those candidates who want to go about and campaign, will not be affected much. The other aspect, okay, is that the Zugwa, the Bakunaba, is, stamping his authority as a paramount chief, okay, as an overlord, that yes, I have the power to curtail or stop political activities.
Right.
It's in relation to the fact that they have expressed, okay, they have expressed their concerns with regards to government's inability to address certain issues, including allowing Seydu to come in. So it is all one. When you analyze it well, you would know that, yes, I'm stamping my authority as an overlord. Since you failed to do A, B, and C, then I would not allow your people to campaign effectively.
Right, and it's interesting the two ways you look at it, both as a security measure and also a preventive measure. But talking about prevention, we've just picked up some information that there seemed to be some kind of a spread of that particular development in Ashaiman or some other parts of the country where we have indigenes from the Bawku enclave or within the Bawku area staying out of the area. We are told that it seems to be degenerating or getting warmer and hotter in other parts of the country. How can we prevent this from, de-escalating?
Very so. Now, what is happening is what we term the spiral effect of, a conflict in one area, which is happening elsewhere, far away from the main center of engagement. Now, how we can prevent is, I think the state's security knows, right, or should know where all these indigents, the Kusasi and Mampusis, are inhabited in the part of Accra, Ashaiman, Tema, and part of the Onion Market and part of Central Accra. Now, you can deploy the police services over there, okay, and then you enhance your intelligence activities over there. There are leaders with regards to these two ethnic groups there. You engage them and then preach peace, calm, okay? Other than that, then you are sure that whatever is happening in Bawku would definitely happen in these areas.
Dr. Victor Doke, thank you so much for your time and thoughts and expertise on this issue. He's a security analyst and has been speaking on the recent developments in Bawku, which has been an age-old concern to not just civil society, but then the government and other Ghanaians in general. So let's take you through why this has become such a big deal and why we need to ensure that we de-escalate whatever tensions are building up. So as of November 2021, or since November 2021, over 200 fatalities have been recorded following the conflict in Bawku. 5 people have lost their lives in gun-related clashes that happened in February 2024. More than 15 fatalities have been reported in recent developments. There's also been a long-standing chieftaincy dispute between the Kusasis and the Mamprusis, which has generated this current confusion. The influx of sophisticated arms, including AK-47s and G3 rifles, likely smuggled into the country from Burkina Faso, is also very concerning, especially that we are in an election year. And then also there's a suspected terrorist activities exacerbating the conflict. And if the security agencies do not immediately nip it in the bud, it could become very worrisome. The implications of what's happening: over 1,000 people have been displaced to nearby towns such as Bolgatanga, Navrongo, and Sandema, increasing the pressure on local resources. There's widespread business closures and high unemployment rate due to the instability in the region. And you'd also know that as we speak, 27 maternal deaths have been reported between 2021 and 2022 due to the restricted healthcare access. 246 teachers have requested transfers from between 2021 and 2023 from the conflict area, which has also contributed to low school attendance. And it is pretty unfortunate that this has also affected the resources of the Ghana military and the security services, because over 500 soldiers have been deployed, and this has really stretched government's resources to meet the security requirements in the area.
In more news tonight, the United States of America has decided not to give a visa to politicians or persons who will foment trouble and then leave the shores of the country to escape violence. The warning ahead of the December 7 elections was issued as a way of safeguarding Ghana's democracy. In a statement by the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the caution reads in part that the United States is committed to supporting and advancing democracy in Ghana and the world over. The Department of State is announcing a new visa restriction policy that will restrict U.S. visas for any individual responsible for undermining democracy in Ghana. This policy will take effect in advance of Ghana's presidential and parliamentary elections scheduled to take place on December 7, 2024. The policy would apply only to specific individuals who undermine democracy and is not directed at the Ghanaian people nor the government of Ghana. Ghana has achieved 3 decades of democratic elections and the peaceful transfer of power between parties, a record to be proud of and a model to cherish. The U.S. readiness to impose visa restrictions if circumstances warrant is an example of their support for the aspirations of all Ghanaians for a peaceful, transparent, and credible electoral process.
All right, so watching News360 on TV3. Let's go on to some other stories now. And former Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu says leadership in Parliament will have to engage the Speaker, Alban Sumana Bagbin, to resolve the current controversy that led to the Speaker adjourning the House indefinitely. The Swami Member of Parliament says even though he disagrees with the Speaker's ruling, which led to the 4 seats being declared vacant, consensus building is necessary in this issue. He spoke to Evelyn Tingma in an interview.
The petition that came from Haruna, I understand, was lodged with the Speaker. Now, by our standing orders, if a petition is lodged, the member shepherding the petition will be given space to articulate or give vent to the petition. He gives it to the Speaker, and the Speaker, on account of that, will provide space to that member to articulate the content of the petition. Thereafter, the Speaker then refers the petition to the Petitions Committee to study and report to Parliament. After the report is submitted, then the House could discuss it, interrogate it, or debate it, ensuing from which, if it becomes necessary and the Speaker has to give a ruling, perhaps that could be done, or a directive that could be done. It's not being ventilated on the floor of the House.
He commended the Speaker for adjourning the House on the day.
We saw some pedestrianism creeping into Parliament. And so what he did cured the mischief of the House degenerating into something else. So on that score, and I also looked at his countenance, I agreed with the adjournment. I thought that the adjournment was going to be perhaps for the day, and then maybe invite the leadership to further discuss the way forward. But to adjourn sine die is what I have a problem with.
He says major national issues have to be addressed, and so a recall is needed.
We all have our egos. Here we have a speaker who has made a determination, and then the Supreme Court tells him, stay your hand. We are injuncting the execution of the ruling. I mean, he's human. So maybe he reacts in a different manner, which is what he did. Beyond that, maybe we need to engage.
In a related development, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osei-Wusu, says he is disappointed by the turn of events in Parliament. He has admonished leadership to amicably settle the impasse to allow parliamentary business to resume. In a soon-to-air episode of Hot Issues with Kemini Amano, the Betway MP says youthful exuberance is partly responsible for the current situation.
The politics of today, of the things that we place emphasis on, of things that, in my view, should be in the background, of things that do not add any value to our work as MPs. I'm disappointed. I think that those are not the things that should take the front stage when we're discussing Parliament.
And you're disappointed, as in it doesn't matter who is on the majority side and who is not?
It does. It does. But why are we behaving as we're doing when in the past, in the previous 3 parliaments I've been in, such matters are discussed indoors at the leadership level? How is now playing out in the open? Who is whipping members to be agitated and showing off their machoism? What value does that serve?
What or who could be responsible for that?
I'm not interested in what or who. It is reflecting badly on Parliament. What we should do is, as for having controversy, it has always been with Parliament. The reason Parliament is called Parliament because a reflection of the various shades of ideas in the country. And it is expected, it is natural that members of Parliament will often disagree.
Is what we see today a failure on leadership or of leadership?
Well, I do not intend to make any value judgment on leadership, but for me, we are moving away from the values of Parliament, how Parliament had run over the years. We are demonstrating the worst part of us. Even in the past, there have always been significant differences between the minority and the majority. It is this time that we have almost equal members. That's the worst part of us is manifesting.
So you'd have to just keep your fingers crossed. The full interview will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. with Kemini Amano. Away from that to one of our headline stories this evening, parents are growing anxious as this year's placement for senior high schools is delayed, with first-year students expected to report on Wednesday, the 30th of October. Even more prospective students are uncertain about their high school destinations barely 2 days to reopening. The frustration on the faces of parents and their wards are telling, but the Ghana Education Service is yet to address the situation.
This is the Makola Market, a vibrant commercial hub with a bustling energy. Thousands of traders, customers, and porters navigate the crowded pathways. As the new academic year beckons, parents have started flocking the market to stock up essentials. But they still don't know when the senior high school placement will be released, even though students are to report on Wednesday, October 30th.
When things go this way, the single parents struggle to make ends meet.
We're saying any boy, say 150 and 150 cedis. I see. Now we're saying 300 cedis. Wow, interesting. And trunk way so 18. Oh, I see 180 cedis. Right. I don't have a child yet, and I'm not here to buy any of these items, but what is assured is that cost of these items keeps skyrocketing. Parents are worried sick and they fear the future of their children are hanging in balance as it stands. They want the release of the SHS placement done as soon as possible.
Yes, na our for na say pressure be abeda yenso because Bawku school now wa unim school are all.
It puts us under pressure because your child will not be placed early for you to make adequate preparations.
Prospectus in there, it's me bantem na sem kolano, who school bekwa ebia 1 week and 2 weeks time. Maybe eska will be our phone number kope.
The Education Ministry has announced free access to the 2024-2025 SHS and TVET placement result, but thousands of junior high school graduates are anxious. Since its inception, the computerized school selection and placement system for SHS has encountered difficulties each year. GES expect that this year might see some improved efficiency. Some parents would not rush in purchasing items.
Say 2 days, now 7 days. So I will buy a bema, buy your bani, so I singlet, or could obey you to towel.
Attempt to get official responses from the Ghana Education Service at the time of filing this report failed. Meanwhile, this reopening date aims to ensure that the school calendar starts in September next year to pave way for final year students to write their 2025-2026 WASI in May-June. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
This is your election command center. The flag bearer of the NDC is asking factions in the Bawku conflict to exercise restraint and not escalate the conflict to innocent individuals. John Mahama is campaigning in the northern region and says his next administration will work assiduously to de-escalate the conflict and bring feuding parties together for lasting peace and development. A report by Komla Kluche.
In the last few days, sporadic gunshots unabated, with some reported casualties. Local security in the Bawku enclave have reported some dead. There has been disappointment from political actors who have been calling out each other. The flag bearer of the NDC is equally disappointed.
Unfortunately, any time the peace of Ghana will be disturbed, it is the MPP government that is in power. Recently, I've been hearing some things happening in Bawku that appear to be threatening to disturb the peace there. I just appeal to the people of Bawku area and all those who are stakeholders in what is happening there to exercise patience, exercise restraint. We know that there are some sinister hands who are trying to stoke the fires of ethnic conflict. They should not allow themselves to be provoked to violence. And so please, the people of Bawku area, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, remain calm. NDC is coming. When we come, we will make sure there is peace in Bawku.
On day one of his northern regional campaign, John Mahama was in Chereponi in the northeast region, where the chiefs expressed dismay at government over the neglect of their roads. His entourage then moved to Saboba. With 40 days to the elections, the unwavering crowd marched up to show their support and resolve to give in the NDC and John Mahama a resounding victory. For John Mahama, the bane of Ghana's current wars is a lack of a truthful leadership that has eluded the country in the past 8 years. He wondered where candor and honesty has been placed by officialdom.
Unfortunately, the current crop of leaders we have, Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, you cannot trust anything they say. And as ABA Fusheni said, and I'll pay the copyright for this, he said, if they greet you in the morning, look at the sun before you answer.
That's former President John Dramani Mahama, who is the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. We have some news just coming in regarding Bawku, where the Ministry of the Interior has placed a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I beg your pardon, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on the Bawku municipality. Let me just take you through some very brief portions of it. It says, following an emergency national security meeting held today under the chairmanship of President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo himself, government wishes to inform the general public of the following. The return to Bawku on 24th of October 2024 of Mr. Seydou Abagre who was illegally enskined as Bawku Naba in February 2023, subsequent to the vacation by the Court of Appeal sitting in Kumasi of the warrant for his arrest, has led to significant disturbances affecting public peace and security in the area. Unfortunately, these disturbances have resulted in the loss of numerous lives in Bawku and its environs, with a looming threat of escalation beyond Bawku. Based on assessment by national security agencies, the continued presence of Mr. Seydou Abagre in Bawku poses a substantial threat to public safety and security. In light of the foregoing, pursuant to the provisions of the Public Order Act 1994, Act 491, a curfew is hereby imposed on Bawku from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. commencing today, Monday, the 28th of October 2024, until further notice. And it says government is monitoring the situation. It is signed by Nana Eyia, Member of Parliament, Deputy Minister for the Interior, on behalf of the Minister.
We have more news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Today, we thank you very much for your invaluable service to this great company, and we wish you well on your retirement. Cheers.
Thank you.
Happy retirement, Lay.
Thank you very much.
So are you staying or you are going back to Ghana?
I'm going back home, of course.
Wow. You really built?
I've got a home at Lakeside.
It's a place to thrive.
Nana, who are you voting for this year?
How about area? As for this question, you need not ask. John Mahama and the NDC, of course. Who else? You know there should be a change. Maybe I should have brought my to Abapa.
Hey, Nana, born before computer.
Yeah,
do you still remember how to vote?
I am so sharp. On December 7th, when I get to my polling station, I'll take my voter's ID card to the EC officer. He will check, find my name, and give me a ballot paper. I'll inspect the ballot paper and make sure the EC stamp is at the back with no other markings around it. When I get to the box, I will just inspect the paper again search for the umbrella. I will just put my thumb in the ink pad and stamp the empty box just by the umbrella, not on the line or Mohammed's face, but in the empty box just by the umbrella. Then I clean my hand, fold my ballot paper vertically and horizontally, and drop it straight into the presidential box.
Now, well done.
On the parliamentary candidate, I'll just stamp my hand in the empty box just by the umbrella. Now I'm done. Give it back.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we say to bank be no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve 10 cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now you got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. You tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see crap, yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN.
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Welcome back to News 360. Let's do business now. And the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of G7 Security Systems, Mark Ruben Kuma, has assured clients and stakeholders of the company's commitment to providing the highest level of security. Speaking during the company's staff durbar, the Managing Director outlined some measures being implemented to ensure client security.
G7 Security Systems has distinguished itself as one of the leading private security companies in Ghana and beyond. The recent durbar brought together clients, staff and security agencies to educate and award outstanding staff members recognized for their excellence in various categories. Speaking to the media, the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of G7 Security Systems outlined key security measures implemented to ensure best practices among its members.
We'll create cells of personnel at various points and locations to serve as a backup force for the people who are on the field, so that in case there is a trigger, they can go and then create a reinforcement. The other one also is that our control room normally will operate 24 hours to pick up signals and then give the same information to the field to operate on.
He further assured clients of the company's commitment to providing and maintaining high standards of robust security.
We give them the assurance that we will do our possible best to maintain our high standard of service delivery by ensuring that their investment is intact, because we'll give them the necessary security that will ensure that they are well protected at home, at workplaces, and wherever they have our men.
Over the years, G7 Security Systems has delivered modern security solutions to clients and the general public, demonstrating a strong sense of urgency and commitment to detail.
In more business news this evening, the convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, has warned that the ongoing Galamsey activities could lead to future restrictions on Ghana's cocoa exports if not checked. Speaking to 3 Business at the 2024 Africa Water Week, he highlighted the significant negative impact of galamsey on the economy.
The Africa Water Week serves as a high-level political platform where governments, regional institutions, international partners, the private sector, civil society and media from across the continent convene to address water and sanitation challenges. In a commemoration press engagement, Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe stressed the future impact of the galamsey menace on Ghana's cocoa exports.
Even our cocoa that is supposed to be premium globally, we're beginning to target in such a way that it would be at risk. And we know that the Chinese are a major factor when it comes to this. The Chinese have started producing cocoa. So they are coming here and working together with us and destroying our cocoa whilst they are producing, the cocoa.
He further advocated for alternative economic uses of Ghana's land and water resources.
If you take an acre of land and you farm avocados on it, within the next 4 years, you will start harvesting and earning between $5,000 to $7,000 a year for the next 30 to 50 years. If you take coconut, for example, coconut after the 3rd, 4th year will start giving you $2,500. Then when you take that same acre of land and you do galamsey on it, you get $6,000. After the $6,000, that land is gone.
The press engagement was organized by Revenue Mobilization Africa, a member of the Tax Justice Network Africa, and a host of the Water Citizens Network campaign in Ghana.
That's it for business on News360. Stay with us. We have sports right after this.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN. Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
In a fast-paced daily life, we all need to breathe a little. Day by Day Women's Skincare enhances your skin with long-lasting effects thanks to their active cosmetic ingredients. It is time for yourself. Discover the new Day by Day Women Body Lotion range.
Sanlam and Allianz is now Sanlam Allianz, Africa's largest insurer.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
Darling natural twists blend with her hair over time.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twists get better every day, just like you.
After this fufu and pepper soup, I go score goals like them the dash points.
Kivo 100% natural hot pepper. Good for your jollof, stew, soup, shito, spaghetti, and noodles. Kivo hot pepper. Moko show.
I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 100% natural hot pepper. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
you like no other.
You are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. You like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy. I love my Indomie.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. We head straight to France where Manchester City midfielder Rodri is the leading contender to win the 2024 Ballon d'Or award after an impressive season for his club and country. Rodri clinched the Premier League title with the Citizens last season, as well as winning the 2024 European Championship with Spain. The defensive midfielder managed to score 12 goals and provided 14 assists for club and country, winning 4 trophies in the process. We still stay in France because there's African interest as Nigeria's Ademola Lookman secured a 14th place finish in the 2024 Ballon d'Or rankings ahead of the official ceremony tonight in Paris. Lookman's remarkable season with Atalanta earned him that prestigious nomination as part of the top 30 best footballers in the world. He was instrumental in their UEFA Europa League victory, netting a hat-trick in the final against Bayer Leverkusen to deliver Atalanta's first ever European trophy. He wrapped up the season with 11 goals and 7 assists in 31 league appearances, earning him the Club's Player of the Year award. On the international scene, he also helped Nigeria reach the final of the Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. From France, let's head to England, where Manchester United have sacked manager Erik ten Hag following the club's poor start to the season. Ten Hag's final game was Sunday's 2-1 defeat at West Ham that left the club 14th in the Premier League with just 3 wins from their opening 9 matches. United are also 21st of 36 teams in the Europa League table, having drawn their 3 opening games. Ruud van Nistelrooy, who joined the club as Ten Hag's assistant last summer, has been named as the interim manager. You can get some more sports stories on our social media handles at 3SportsGH, especially updates on the ongoing Ballon d'Or Awards in Paris. My name is Oreku Ampofo, and that wraps up the sports segment here on News 360.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from unique natural herbs to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal. Scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. This advert is FDA approved.
To all our believers, to the Niger Gunners of Globe Road, all you Artetas of Africa, of Accra, of Maputo, of Oimbo, the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you. Now hear us. Obrigado. Talo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Honey, new sabo! And a pot evaporated milk. Ooh. Tasty and creamy, right?
So.
And a pot milk, a well custard one, a fine. Nasa well Tom Brown no rice water muswa, a nice. Honey, trip now, baso. Made the end of palm mayonnaise. And I'm a salad, and a burger. Fries, so, and a tasty ketchup. And a good side. Coffee jollof, so made the end of perfume.
Long green rice. Oh, you are one.
Don't forget your favorite and a chocolate milk.
Oh, more quite so.
Honey, you are sorted.
I'm in control like a pilot on Anapa Airways.
Mama, Mama.
Me, you know.
Enapa, I can't stand it.
Just a moment. Enapa, ha?
Yeah.
Enapa. Oh, yeah, Jack Macron, no more. It's you cannot sit there. Harry, you contumre. What a tomato sauce, I want to eat baby. Enapa sardine for box with salad here. I will stew and a jollofa. Na better one that don't know it. And about here, I'm meant to burn your doua. You want a pasta sauce? Check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Let's all salad. Oh, she and a tuna. We can puffle. Let's all salad. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box we so can see oats na cremitino yawo and a spaghetti talia papa bi mansuni sijadu hre na for and a spaghetti no kum wo and a patalia no I ready for watch on you with stew so I no pa no so kodia
Inkrati FDA appendo
still am full. This is a bosom menu. Yeah, brown new phone. I meet me in an and I communicate. Bluetooth, infrared, fridge, dining table, cooler. You're feeling lunch.
Bibianship, what a pedal account. Why? Pelande or easily go my.
Making money shouldn't be this hard. Just reload and win cash in the telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in telecel More Money promo. Dial *500# or opt in on the telecel Play app for free. Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by
Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Good evening. Let's do some entertainment news updates here on News360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, after weeks of anticipation, Mentor 2024 officially kick-started on Sunday night with contestants impressing fans with exciting performances. 16 fired-up Mentor contestants opened their campaign for the coveted prize package at stake. Ray Cooper on the night won the hearts of the judges and was awarded the star performer.
I'm a greatest, I never go lose this. Back at level when they act choose this. Remember swagger, my sister, your school, just play me the school.
After the big launch on October 20, it was yet another night for all 16 contestants to claim ownership of the coveted prize package on stage. The spirited contestants chose their own songs and did justice to it on the freestyle night.
I don't care the number of times you've broken my heart, baby. I can never give you up. I love you so, I love you so, so much more.
Every minute, every hour of the day, I stay racing the clock. I'm going hard till I get to the top. With every last breath in my lungs, deeply rooted 10 toes in the concrete.
To the judges, the performances were simply breathtaking, pointing to the confidence, attitude, and the amazing showmanship displayed by contestants.
Like, your vocals are so on point. I mean, I think you know this already. For the fact that you chose to sing Beyonce Halo and you nailed it more than most girls would is so impressive. Okay.
Ray Cooper won the heart of the judges and was awarded Star Performer with L Street, picking up the Best Costume Award on the night.
And the winner is L Street.
L Street, congratulations going out to you. Costume on point.
Yeah. Who is our star performer of the night?
First of all three of you did so amazing, but definitely there has to be a winner. And our winner for today is the smooth man, Ray Cooper.
Ray Cooper!
One time for the man, Ray Cooper.
Congratulations going out to you, Ray Cooper, our star performer of the night.
Arguably one of its kind in the country, Mentor has over the period offered underground talents a platform to shine.
Somebody have to run, go and tell poverty. Say him have to go because I want me privacy. Him stay too long in my life. Him have to go cause me want see the daylight. Me never want lose anything at this time. And they say me want go. Say me reach me prime time a long time. Cause I know say man a big star. Poverty you can't stop me from my shine. Say Coco. Whoa, 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 Coco, Coco the Rasta. Yeah, yeah. I wanna hear you say Coco, Coco, Coco.
Well, that'll be it for the entertainment news segment, but please do make sure that you're voting for your favorite contestants because evictions are around the corner. My name is Noella Donko. Do have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Noella. Coming up, international news.
At least 40 Chadian soldiers have been killed after their base was attacked Sunday evening. President Mahama has ordered a counter-mission to track down the culprits, according to a statement from his office. The attack reportedly happened on an island called Bakaram in a vast marshy region that was once covered by the waters of Lake Chad before its dramatic shrinking in recent decades. No suspects for Sunday's attack are named in the presidency's statement, but the area is close to the border zones of Nigeria and Niger, where Islamist militants are known to operate. U.S. President Joe Biden has voted early in the presidential election, with just over a week to go before polling day. The president, who dropped his re-election bid in July, has appeared at an early voting site in his home state of Delaware, where he was seen waiting in a queue that extended outside the polling station. After casting his ballot, he was asked by reporters about Elon Musk's daily $1 million cash giveaway, which he described as totally inappropriate.
What we got used to. That's why the selection is so important. You know, most of the presidential scholars I've spoken to talk about the single most consequential thing about a president's character. And
well, that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Esiedudate, and I've been here with
Portia Gabo.
And at 9 p.m., do make a date with Beatrice Edu. She has a fine lineup of gentlemen. We'll be discussing some very important national issues on agenda. It's 9 p.m. on TV3. Do make a date. That's it for this. Bye for now.